Change Your Appearance with Your Mind, Part 2. Hi, I'm your host, Piper Sky Cheyenne, and welcome back to Rebuild Reality, where we talk about who we really are, why we're here, and how all of this stuff works. So I had a comment from a viewer who said, what you say in your video doesn't answer what you mentioned in the title. And she talked about how she wanted to have small changes, not just completely change her personality or how she viewed herself. And someone else talked about how they wanted to change their height and how that was doable. Now, and I think that that's great. Questions, that's fine. Challenges, not a problem. Because when you question things, when you question your reality, that shows that your reality is beginning to break down for you. Because you're like, wait, hold on a second. What is this all about? You know, why is that true? So questioning your reality is really a really good thing. So in the last video, I talked about how you can change your appearance with your mind. How when you get down to it, what we're made out of, our cells, is made out of atoms. And when you look at the nucleus of an atom, it's not matter. Matter is not there. It dissipates into nothing, into things that are popping in and out of existence. So what is it? What is the component that directs that energy to form into certain matter, to form into our reality? It's the mind. Our mind is the electrical component that goes out and affects, sends the signal to that energy to form into this matter, to form into this, to form into that. So that's the component, which is why this is a reflection out here of this. It doesn't work the other way around. When we want to change our reality, we keep waiting for things to come from out there here to show up. But that doesn't work that way. It works by us changing who we believe that we are, our self-concepts, or what we believe is possible and impossible. And then you don't wait for it to show up. You know, you're not like keep constantly checking, you know, did they text me, or constantly looking in the mirror, because you're waiting for it to come from outside of you. Whereas you're going to change your belief about yourself, about what you think is possible and doable, and then reality will come up and reflect that. Now, obviously, this is easier to do for some people because of our collective agreements, our collective beliefs. Like we believe like changing your weight. Oh, well, okay, that's doable. So maybe I could do that with my mind because I see people change their weight all the time. But height, that's a bit harder in my perception because I don't see people once they're grown ever really changing their height. So in our minds, we have that, you know, feeling like, well, what is possible? What is impossible? And we base that off of our collective assumptions, right? Of what we see other people do and other people believe in, what is real and what is not real. Well, one of the biggest, probably the biggest beliefs that we believe is unchangeable is aging. You're born, you grow old, and you die. It's the two things that you can't change, death and taxes, right? So everyone has believed in that for a very long time. But I don't know if, probably a lot of people don't know this yet. But aging, dying, is now a thing of the past. And I'm not talking about just in my perception or in the spiritual world or anything like that. I'm talking about in the science world. I'm talking about in reality. You look at people like David Sinclair, a professor in biogenetics at Harvard University. Well, him and his team and them together working with MIT, as well as a number of other institutions and universities, have already reversed aging. Dr. Yamanaka in 2014, I'm going too far back, in 2014 won a Nobel Peace Prize for finding the 4 different proteins that are responsible for aging. Right? Now, if they use all of these proteins on a cell, they can reverse it to its embryonic stage. it's baby stage. Well, since they don't want to do that, the people who have been taking that information and doing the testing, they use 3 of the proteins to reverse aging, and they've already done it by 82%. And this has all happened through what they call epigenetic reprogramming, right? So epigenetics, what's that? Well, if you've ever heard of people like Bruce Lipton, who wrote the book, The Biology of Belief, how your beliefs change your biology, your physical body, then you'll know that we change our lives, what we believe is possible, what we believe is impossible, as well as our physical body, with our minds. People limit themselves all the time. Like certainly when I was in Mexico, well, there's a collective agreement there that people are poor and you just got to do what you got to do. And a lot of people there are in that program where they're like, well, it's just the way it is. And in order to get out of that, I've got to do maybe extreme things, you know? But it's a collective agreement. Just like all kinds of countries have collective agreements, towns, groups of people have collective agreements, right? So they've already changed these things. They've already reversed multiple diseases in multiple animals, and reversed aging as well in multiple animals. And like Dr. Sinclair says, he's like, there's no difference. There's no difference in the genetics of all these animals, and what we're made up are all made up, when you get down to it, of the same thing. And there are people who have already done this, tested this on themselves. It's not just the aging, like I said, it's the diseases too. They've reversed blindness, Alzheimer's, Down syndrome, prostate cancer, traumatic brain injury. Brain injuries even literally seen significant improvement overnight. And this is huge, because what's really going on here? Well, we are smashing. We are literally destroying the foundation of our reality, of what we think is doable and not doable. So we put all these limitations up for ourselves, of what we believe is possible and impossible. But this is why we're here, right? Because you wouldn't be watching videos like this if there wasn't a part of you that didn't tell you in your heart that things like this are real, that things like this are true, that magic and miracles do happen. And there's a part of you that knows it, but there's also a part of you that's too afraid to really believe in it, because you've tried and tried before and been proven wrong, you know, or felt you proved yourself wrong because you were already limiting yourself with your beliefs. So we've always had this power. Changing our genetics, reversing aging has always been there within us. It's always been part of our genetic programming. It's just what turns it on and off is in here, is the mind. You know, it's just like in The Wizard of Oz, when the good witch tells Dorothy, you've always had the power. You just had to learn it for yourself. And is this true? This is reality now. This is the revolution in consciousness. We are erasing and obliterating our limitations. Because why would we want any? Why would we choose to have those anymore when we are meant to be free? And this is what this is all about. So I am your host, Piper Sky Cheyenne. And thank you for joining me here on Rebuild Reality, you know. It's nice to have you back. And it's nice to have your comments, your thumbs up. I really appreciate all of you amazing people so much. I think you're fantastic. And that's why I'm here. I want you to know that. I want you to know that you are the Son of God. You got no limitations. You are the most amazing person on the entire planet. And it's about time you woke up to that. So I will see you here next time on Rebuild Reality, and I look forward to it.